Hi there, this is Chris Kellett with Musegrid.com, and I wanted to show you our latest release of Widget, which is the Mega Menus widget. Now this is something that people have been asking for quite a while, and we have produced menu widgets before, but it wasn't until Muse 7 that we were really able to create something that was genuinely as close to traditional Mega Menus as you can get. So here we have our preview of the widgets. We've got three versions. We have the desktop, the tablet, and the mobile version here. So we've created those for you already. And we can see that as we hover over the individual menu items here, we get these nice big menus with submenus inside them and extra content. And we also have this nice home button here, and this is the same for all of the different devices, so they can be altered to fit the content that you have. You can see with the mobile version of the menu, we've stripped a lot of the content out, but it still works great. We've also added these different colors here so that you can really see how flexible the menu system is. But I must make an important point about these menus. These aren't traditional menu widgets, so these won't automatically add pages to them if you add them to your site. These are manually managed menus, so all of the links in them have to be added manually. So just to reiterate, these don't auto-generate as the same as the normal Muse menu widget. But let's jump into Muse and take a look at how we can use them. So first of all, I'm going to install it. So I've downloaded the package and I've double clicked on the Muse file, and it's installed the package into my library. And then we have our three items here. Now this will, although the colors in the image here are set to what you saw in the preview, when we drag this onto the page, this will take on the colors that are already on your site that have a similar name. So I've already got some colors in here, so when we drag this on, it will take on the colors of this particular site. So let's drag those onto the page there. And you can see that those colors were already in there, so that's the colors it's using. But those can easily be modified. So when we click into the widget itself, let's take a look in the layers and see what we have here. So we have our group here. So first of all, this is a grouped item. Now within that group, we have two compositions. We have in the background, we have a state button. So that's one of the new widgets introduced in version 7 of Muse. And that is just a rectangle, and if we click into it, we can see we have a rectangle and we have this icon here. So that's the background image. Now on top of that, we have a composition widget with triggers and targets. So this is similar to a slider widget, but it's been restructured. If we click into it, we can see here that we've set it to scattered, we've set it to on rollover, and notice that this is the important bit, the on rollout hide target. So this is the target area on the rollout of the trigger and the target. So what that's basically saying is we want to hide this area here when the mouse moves out of this area here and this area here. Okay, so if the mouse is in here, this will be open. If the mouse is on this area here, this will be open. However, if we move the mouse out of the area to here, this will then close. And that's one of the features that we weren't able to do with Mega Menus before. Now if we click into the composition, we can see that we have the text here and we have the icon, so those can be changed. You can change the colors, and in the states here, what we're doing, we've got the standard color here, and then on our active state, we're actually using a glow set to inner glow, blur 250, opacity 10, and that darkens the color. So that allows us then to keep to our 5 color palette, but it allows that menu item to change when we're in the active state, and that's the same for all of these sections. We have the orange color, and then we're applying a 10% glow. So in effect what it's doing, it's tinting the color with a black overlay to make it darker. You could do the reverse of that and use a lighter color, but that's how we're doing this. Then inside of these sections we have, because it's a composition widget, we can add any content we like. So we've got a background image, so you can see in our background fill for each of these items we've got an image fill here, and we've set it scale to fit, and we've set it to sit bottom right. We've then got this other item here. This is just a rectangle with, well, it's actually just text, and we can see in our text settings here we have set the margins and the space above and space below, so we've got that nice neat text there, and we've set the corner radius to match the corner radius of what we've set up for this widget. We've got our text here with a border, and then this is actually a menu widget. So this is a standard menu widget, but notice we've got it set to manual. We're using uniform size, and we've switched off the icon, but we're using a background image. We're using a background image to the actual block here, and what we've done here is we've got a fill of 10%, and then when you roll over the item we have a fill, or a grey fill set to 10%, so that darkens the menu as we roll over it. And we're using this background arrow for all of them, which you'll see is embedded. So that little icon there shows that these graphics are embedded in this widget, and by embedding the widget it means that they're always there within Muse, you see, because if we had them linked to an external file you'd have to download those assets as well, but because we've embedded these graphics, they're part of the widget. So it's very easy to modify these items. So let's say for instance we wanted to make this menu a bit bigger. So I'm going to grab the menu, the box there, and I'm going to drag that down. Now notice how the background image here scales because we've got that scale to fit. Now this item didn't move because these are all independently floating items. So what I would need to do is select that item, and I'm going to bring that down and I'm going to chunk it into place there, so that's moved now. This text here, I might want to drop this down so that we've got that line still sitting there. And then this menu here, I know that these menu items need to be 33 high, but I'm going to add another menu item here and another one, and then I'm going to set my height 33, and we can see that we've got our menu states there. So I've added additional menu items here, and I've set that height to 33. Let's just get this looking neat now, so I'm going to just resize that into place. I'm going to bring that up, let's say to there, and then I'm going to, that'll snap back to there. So now what I've done is I've made this menu bigger, and I've adjusted the content inside it, added some new menu items. But if you take this to the next step, this menu could contain anything. It could contain additional menu items, it could contain a form, it could contain a map, sliders, photo galleries, it could contain anything. So it's very straightforward to modify once you get your head around how these menus are put together. You want to make sure as well that these are sitting on a topmost layer on your site. So if you have lots of content, you'd want to create a layer that was at the very top of the list here and put the menu into that, so that when the drop down happens it sits over the top of all your content, because this won't push content down, and if you haven't set your content to be behind it, then obviously your content will sit over the top of it. So that's the mega menus. The tablet and mobile versions work exactly the same, and you can modify this as you will, and hopefully you'll enjoy using them and find lots of new uses for them. And thanks for watching.